so hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to Vs2pcg Deck Forger. So for tonight, we're going to have an emergency episode because, of course, evil Deadpool has stolen the limelight from Miles Morales for the meantime because he wants us to discuss the evil Deadpool deck. So actually, this is a very good combination of discarder deck, at the same time very aggressive aggro style of deck, and at the same time he is also a reanimator. So in case of course you're not familiar with evil Deadpool, so evil Deadpool is actually part and parcel of parts taken or coming from, or actually discarded from Deadpool himself, and of course his evil version, the Deadpool. And according to the comics, once all the body parts were stored together in a freezer, and when that freezer was thawed out, they got to regenerate again, but of course they all came from Deadpool, and of course these body parts formed together to become the evil version known as evil Deadpool. So without further ado, let's try to look at the evil Deadpool deck. So actually this is one particular deck that has been given out as a prize in our Forge Hobby Plays and Black Cat Hobbies, and of course Card and Box Hobbies Grand Raffle Draw. And of course evil Deadpool doesn't want to stay in the fourth prize position, but of course we can't do anything about it, because of course our grand prize is a PlayStation 4, together with that Spider-Man Game of the Year cartridge and 2 more games. So let's take a look. Let's go to our new deck decking table and let's take a peek at the evil Deadpool. Okay everyone, so welcome back to our deck decking table, and before we give you the components for our evil Deadpool, first of all I would like to apologize because I am very stiff because evil Deadpool is at my back and holding me at gunpoint, urging angrily that I should give priority in providing you with the deck for his evil Deadpool deck. So now we're going to open up the sample price evil Deadpool for our Card and Box Hobbies and Forge Hobby Plays and Black Cat Hobbies Grand Raffle. And actually this is the 4th prize for our Grand Raffle, which I think by this week will be complete, and we're going to actually draw the winners hopefully before the end of the week. So let's try to open up our evil Deadpool, and as you can see here that it's still filled up in its plastic. So let's look at the components for evil Deadpool. And as you can see here, first of all we're going to show you the main character for our evil Deadpool. Let's try to focus on that. And of course evil Deadpool is from the Underworld team, and he's at level 1 he's a 2 attack 4 defense character with 6 health and with range, and he is a merc with an evil mouth. So during the main phase you may pay any red power symbol, and evil characters on your side are evil lethal this turn. So if they wound a defending supporting character, you get to KO it and laugh evilly. Ha 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 ha. So in order for him to level up, it's a little bit tricky. And he's made from discarded body parts, as you can see in the comics. He is made up from body parts of both Deadpool and Deadpool. So actually there are 2 components combined together, and when they were thawed out of the freezer, okay, they actually merge together to become the evil Deadpool. So he needs 5 XP in order to level up, and whenever a player discards one or more characters, evil Deadpool gains an XP. So in this particular case, you need to actually be able to discard characters from your hand in order for Deadpool to level up. So once he levels up, now he gains, okay, a 6 attack, 6 defense stats. It's still with 6 health and range, and he gains his second superpower. It's like you, but eviler. So during the build phase, you may pay any yellow power symbol and put a good character from an enemy KO pile onto your side. If it's evil instead of good, and okay, and it has evil as the start of its name. So for example, if you bring back Iron Man from your opponent's KO pile, now it becomes evil Iron Man. So if you bring back Gilgamesh, then now he becomes evil Gilgamesh. Okay, so that is our main character, Deadpool. So, okay, so Deadpool, evil Deadpool, are you already fine with that? Okay, so I already gave you a very good introduction. Now let's look at the supporting characters. Okay, and these are the supporting characters that I have included in my evil Deadpool deck. Okay, so let's try to look at him. And actually, this is the good thing about this, because okay, this evil Deadpool deck is actually okay, very good start for it. Okay, first we can start with me, and as you can see, me, okay, can only be brought out if we have this particular plot twist in plate from your hand, and that is breaking the fourth wall. So once you're able to break the fourth wall, you're able to bring out me. So me is a 1-drop supporting character with 1 health, and initially it has no team affiliation, and at the same time it has stats that are dependent on your age. So first of all, he gains the power of the following keyword. So he has leader. So while you are team attacking, you choose, okay, who the defender strikes back against, and pick a team, any team. As you appear, choose a team affiliation to have. And age ain't nothing but a number. Okay, your attack and defense are equal to your age. So let's say if you are 38 years old or 39 years old, then you are a 3 attack, 9 defense character. And if you are 113 years old, you can be either an 11 attack, 3 defense character, or a 1 attack, 13 defense character of your choice. And if you are 30, so sad to say, if your age ends in 0, well, then okay, wait until your next birthday, otherwise this kid is going to be KO'd. So for your 1 cost, we have put in 4 copies of Arnim Sola. And the good thing about this is, of course, because Arnim Sola is one of your early discarders, okay? So Arnim Sola is from the Hydra team, and he is a 1 attack, 1 defense character with 1 health and with range. And he has debuts, so when Arnim Sola appears, choose an enemy player to discard a card. So your hope here, of course, is for your opponent to, of course, discard any high cost characters early on when you play Arnim Sola's debut. So that way, you can gain an XP for your evil Deadpool. And once he is attacked, of course, you can transfer consciousness. So as a reaction, you may pay any blue power symbol. So when Arnim Sola gets KO'd on an enemy player's turn, search your deck for an Arnim Sola character, rebuild it, and put it into your hand. So actually, he gets replenished, okay? So you have 4 copies of that. Then another good 1-drop for your evil Deadpool, of course, are 4 copies of Helmut Zemo. And Helmut Zemo, of course, is here because he can sow distrust. But before we go to that, of course, Helmut Zemo is a 2 attack, 1 defense character with 1 health and range. And he has sow distrust, So during the main phase, you may pay any yellow power symbol and look at an enemy player's hand and choose a character that doesn't share a team affiliation with the player's main character. And that player discards that character. So again, another good way for you to earn XP for Evil Deadpool. Evil Deadpool, so that he can, okay, early on, okay, and then few early turns can actually level up. Then, besides that, of course, you have Ronan. And Ronan is a 2-cost supporting character from the Super Villains team. And he is a 3 attack, 3 defense character with 2 health. And he has a Q, so during the main phase, you may pay any yellow power symbol and name any card. Choose an enemy player to rebuild that card and their hand and discard each card with that name. So actually, Ronan can also be comboed with Helmut Simo on the 3rd turn. Or you can, if you are familiar with your opponent's deck, then actually you can actually guess. Okay? And this can also help bring additional XP for your Evil Deadpool. Then you also have 2 copies of Electro. And for those weenie opponent decks, of course, you have Electro to remove them en masse. So you have a 2 attack, 2 defense character with 1 health and with range. And he's also from the Underworld team. And he has Chain Lightning. So during the main phase, you may pay any blue power symbol to stun each enemy character that costs 2 or less. And finally, for your 2-drop, you have Leviathan Demolisher. So one-of-a-kind feature. He has Comet Fall. So when Leviathan Demolisher appear, put a -1/-1 counter in each enemy character. And he has a Tectonic Impact. So when Leviathan appears, turn an enemy location face down. His stats actually does not really go well because he has a 2 attack, 3 defense stats only. But then again, his Comet Fall and Tectonic Impact can prove very useful during the early parts of your match. And for your 3 costs, you have 4 copies of Ajax. And Ajax here, of course, is a very good defender because he can sustain numerous attacks, okay, for a particular turn. And at 3 costs, he's a 6 attack, 3 defense character. He has 1 health. But he has tough, so when Ajax gets stunned, you may recover him. Still gets wounded, but then again, you can recover him easily. And with that, of course, he has pain tolerance, and Ajax can only be KO'd by fatal wounds at the end of a turn. So this power remains on even while Ajax is stunned. So again, you can get stunned. Okay, tough, you recover him. He gets attacked, stunned again, then top, you can recover him, but it doesn't go away until the end of your turn. It's a very good defender for those grounded heavy hitters. Okay, then you also have 2 copies of Taskmaster and one of the more powerful character cards in the Underworld arsenal. And Taskmaster is a 3 attack, 6 defense character with 1 health, and he has photographic reflexes. So Taskmaster has all the printed keyword powers to face up enemy supporting characters. Very powerful. If you have Gilgamesh out in play, you can copy, of course, Eternal. You can actually copy any of those Ferocious. You can even copy Flight and Range from your opponent's, okay, characters. Okay, enemy supporting characters. Then for your 4 costs, you have 4 copies of Abominable Snowman. And of course, Abominable Snowman is here because he is a very powerful utility character. He is from the Monsters team, and he's a 3 attack, 7 defense character with 2 health. And when Abominable Snowman appears, discard a card. So again, this could be, let's say, the 4th turn break for your Evil Deadpool to be able to, of course, gain that 1 last XP. When you're able to discard a character card, of course, because of Abominable Snowman's Abominable. And since he's a snowman, when Abominable Snowman strikes an enemy character, then you get to freeze it. It can't ready until after its next turn. So very powerful 4th turn card for your deck. And you also have 4 copies of Massacre. And Massacre is here, of course, because he is 5 attack, 3 defense character with 2 health and with range. And he is a mercenary, so whenever a Massacre, okay, stuns an enemy defender, defending supporting character, then you get to KO it. Okay, sorry, that's lethal, okay? And mercenary is whenever he attacks, okay, you get to choose, team attacks, you get to choose who the defender strikes back against with. So lethal, so si Masakil, here I can actually pronounce it, but okay, lethal is whenever he, okay, stuns an enemy defending supporting character, then you get to KO it, okay? And for your 4 cost equipment, of course, you have Chimichanga. And what is Deadpool or even Evil Deadpool without the Chimichanga, okay? And it's a one-of-kind equipment, and you may only have one of this card in your deck. And I just love saying it. So during the main phase, you may either pay any 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 green, or 1 red power symbol, or just say Chimichanga, 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 and Chimichanga to put 4 +1/+1 counters on equipped characters. So very powerful for Evil Deadpool. Okay, even Evil Deadpool loves it. Okay, okay. Then you also have 2 copies of Satana, and Satana is from the Fempital, and she is a 5 cost, 6 attack, 5 defense character with 1 health, and she has flight. And with that, of course, she has fatal female, so all Fempital characters on your side gain lethal, and that includes her. So normally combos with Massacre to, of course, remove all those 2 or 3 health supporting characters, okay, those very stubborn enemy supporting characters. And of course, she has Consume Soul, so during the main phase, you may pay any blue power symbol to remove a character in an enemy player's KO pile from the game, and that player reveals their hand and deck and removes all characters with that name from the game. Then they shuffle their deck, okay? Then we also have 2 copies of Shikla for your 7 cost. And Shikla, of course, is from the Underworld team also. And she has 7 attack and 7 defense stats and 2 health. And she's immortal, so when Shikla gets KO'd, you may shuffle her into your deck. And at the start of your build phase, you may put a character from your KO pile, okay, into your hand. If it's Deadpool, then put him onto your side instead. And of course, we have 2 copies of Blackheart. And Blackheart is here because, of course, he is also from the Underworld team, and he's a 7 attack, 4 attack, 4 defense character with 2 health with flight and range. Although very low stats initially, but he's created from evil, so Blackheart gets +1 attack, +1 defense for each evil character in your KO pile. So meaning, if you have 10 characters in your evil characters in your KO pile, then automatically, of course, Blackheart gets a 10 attack, 10 defense bonus for your, okay. And finally, our biggest drop on your deck are 2 copies of Exodus. And Exodus is from the Omega Mutants team. And he is a 9 attack, 6 defense character with 1 health and flight and range. And he is an Omega level mutant, so you can only put 1, okay, set of Omega level mutants with that particular name in your deck. And he's the psionic of the highest order, and this dude can actually, okay, create a great impact in the late game. So at the end of each enemy draw phase, that player discards a random card. At the end of each enemy recovery phase, exhaust an enemy character on that side. And at the end of each enemy build phase, turn an enemy location on that side face down. And at the end of each enemy main phase, okay, put, okay, 3 -1/-1 counters on an enemy character on that side. So very powerful, okay? One of the most powerful, okay, Omega level mutants. Then that is Exodus. And of course, we're going to try to give you briefly some of our plot twists in the deck. And I've discussed this before. You have to break the fourth wall. So this one-of-a-kind plot twist from the Underworld team, okay, lets you during the main phase enter the game as a supporting character. So put a me token onto your side, and if it gets stunned, KO'd, or otherwise leaves play, you don't lose the game. And of course, you have 4 copies of Mercs for Money. And Mercs for Money is Underworld Stamp plot twist. Okay, gives you during combat, choose an Underworld attacker, and this combat it gets +3 attack, +0 defense, and when it stuns an enemy defender, you get to draw a card. So very good way to boost up your attackers, okay, and at the same time to be able to replenish a card into your hand. And we also have 4 copies of Fair and Balance. And Fair and Balance is a very good utility Underworld plot twist. And during the main phase, you may put a +1/+1 counter on a character and a -1/-1 counter on another character or on a character. Okay, so you have 4 copies of this card in order for you to help even out the board. And finally, for our locations, we have 4 copies of Academy. And of course, Academy is very useful here because we need this for our Helmut Simo's So Distrust, for Ronan's Accused, and you also have for Evil Deadpools, It's Like You but Eviler. So this actually has a great deal of use in this particular type of deck. And you also have 4 copies of Training Ground. And Training Ground is here of course because you need to use this for Merc with an Evil Mouth, okay, for you to be able to give your characters Evil Lethal for that particular turn. And finally, we have 4 copies of Laboratory. And Laboratory is here because you need this of course for use with Electro, for use with, let's say, Satana's Superpower. And it's a very good use here, okay, your blue power symbol location. And of course, finally, we have 4 copies of Fist Tower. And Fist Tower are of course usable by all of your Underworld characters, like of course Electro, and you can also use this for Evil Deadpool's Merc with an Evil Mouth, and of course It's Like You but Eviler. Okay, so these are all the cards included. You have some rare ones like Chimichanga. You also have, of course, the Me token. And of course, this particular deck is made as a prize, okay, and as a gift by Card and Box Hobbies to any of course, of the one of the 40 lucky winners to be able to get this. Of course, if they fail to get the grand prize, which is the PlayStation 4. Okay, so okay, stick with me as we will try to shuffle this card a bit, and we will try to give you a sample gameplay of how Evil Deadpool actually works. Okay, so going to the last part of our video, we're going to give you a sample gameplay of how the Evil Deadpool deck actually works. So what I really like about this deck, of course, is it's called Evil Deadpool because Evil Deadpool doesn't really want to have any one of those funny names that we have been given here at Vs2pcg Deck Forger. So I cannot really shuffle it normally because of course all of these cards are not sleeved and I don't want to damage some of them. But okay, we will try to just give it a good random, okay, piece by piece shuffle, so that we're going to give you a sample gameplay of how the Evil Deadpool, okay, deck actually works. So we will try to work on this. Okay, then later on I'm going to put this back into its vacuum pack, so that because it's going to be given out as a surprise. okay, to one of the 40 lucky winners in our, okay, Forge Hobby Plays, Black Cat Hobbies, and of course Card and Box Hobbies grand raffle here in Manila. So we will try to cut it. Okay, so let's say we will choose 2, 3, and 1. Then we're going to bring out our evil Deadpool main character. So normally he is range, he has range, so we're going to place him in the back row position, and we're going to get 7 cards. Okay, so these are the 7 cards that we have drawn. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so we have a laboratory, we have a training ground, we have an Arnim Sola, we have a Black Heart, we have an Ajax, Mercs for Money, and Academy. But what I'm really looking here is, of course, an Academy together with, let's say, a Helmut Simo. Okay, so because we really need to have a very good, okay, discarding ability during the early part of the game, so that evil Deadpool can actually, okay, level up quickly. So let's try to get you 7 more cards. This is now our final mulligan. So now we have an Arnim Sola, we have a training ground, a fair and balance, we have a laboratory, we have, oh, we have break the fourth wall. Yeah, this is what I need. A Helmut Simo and an abominable snowman. Okay, so the good thing about here, of course, is you're going to play your training ground, and we're going to play, of course, Arnim Sola. Okay, so Arnim Sola will now help discard a character card. Hopefully it can help discard a character card. And the good thing about this, of course, is if it's actually a character card that your opponent discards, then that gives your evil Deadpool 1 XP, okay, to start with, okay, and that's really good. Okay, then what you can do here is you can now play your break the fourth wall. So this is a very good, starting hand. And now you have me, and since, example, if I am 47 years old or 48 years old, then me is actually a 4 attack, 8 defense character, so very powerful during the early turn. Okay, and you can now place evil Deadpool at the back row because still he has range. And now, if it's possible, you can play fair and balance to put a -1/-1 counter on your opponent. And now, okay, you can actually put a +1/+1 counter on me, and it me becomes now a 5 attack, 8 defense character, and can normally, of course, stun any opponent main character. Okay, so now that's a good play. Now we go, of course your opponent will try to play something or whatever, but then that's good enough because me can become a very good blocker at the early part of the game. Then now you get to draw 2 cards, and now you get a Helmut Simo and an Exodus. Okay, so you play your blue, and you can now play Helmut Simo. And if your opponent has a supporting character and it's a little bit tough, now you can play red, so you can activate Merc with an evil mouth, and your evil characters on your side are now evil lethal. And since me is an underworld character, now he can get to stun again that enemy's party character. Even if it has 2 health, then it gets KO. Okay, now let's go to our third turn. Okay, that's a good play. Now, since you already have Helmut Simo here, so you can just drop in Helmut Simo here, then you can now play another Arnim Sola, and if it's good enough, then Arnim Sola can fetch you another XP if your opponent gets to discard an enemy supporting character. Okay, so you need at least 5 to level up. Okay, so a little bit slow, but then going to your fourth turn, okay, you have an Ajax, and hopefully we get a yellow, but then we got Ronan. So the good thing here, of course, is what you can do is play Ronan here, Then out comes Abominable Snowman. So you get to discard your Ajax. So now that will fetch you. Okay. Three XP. Okay. So if you get to power up Iron Solid, it's also good. Because now you can get 4 XP. But then if not, okay, now you can actually attack again with me, or if it's a little bit sensitive enough to attack because you might get stunned, then you can attack with Abominable Snowman. And now Abominable Snowman, okay, can feast that opponent character. Okay. Then going to our 5th turn. Okay, now we got a yellow. That's good. So now we got a yellow. Okay. So what you can do now is activate, play first Chimichanga, so that you can put it on Evil Deadpool. Then if you don't have any more of those, of course, if you don't have any more of those supporting characters in your hand, now you can play yellow for your Helmut Simo, and look at an enemy player's hand and choose a character that doesn't share a team affiliation. If that happens, then you now get to have another XP for your Evil Deadpool. Then of course, attack with either me or Evil Deadpool with the Chimichanga, because with Chimichanga, now you get to have 4 +1/+1 counters on your Evil Deadpool. And that brings his stats to a whopping 6-8. Okay, that's a 6-8 character. And with range, and now you can attack. And you can attack any sporting character. Play with Mercs for money. If it gets KO'd, okay, gets stunned, then you get to draw an additional card. Okay, then you get to play fair and balance to put another +1/+1 counter, let's say, on your me. And of course, you can get to penalize one of these characters with -1/-1 counter. Okay, so now I think the board's now already building up. And now again you have another yellow. And another mix for money. This is the 6th turn. And now you play your Academy, but since you don't have any character yet on your hand, of course now you can get to play yellow. So again, I sow Distrust. And if it's another character that you're able to discard, then okay, actually Evil Deadpool level up to, of course, level 2. And now he becomes a 6 attack, 6 defense character. And still he has that 4. Okay, that 4 +1/+1 counter from Chimichanga. Now you can play Chimichanga again. Then you get to add another 4. Okay. 4. Okay, another 4 +1 attack, +1 counter, defense counter on your Evil Deadpool. And with that, he now becomes 14 attack, 14 defense character. And now you can get to attack again. Play Mercs for money again. If that opponent's sporting character gets stunned, okay, that enemy defender gets stunned, then you get to draw a card. Okay, so this is how actually the Evil Deadpool works. Now, if you're able, let's say, to draw another blue or another green, okay, then the good thing here, of course, is if we have already 7, you can now play Black Heart, and with that, of course, Black Heart gets to count. Let's say your Iron Solo gets stunned, Helmut Sim gets stunned. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you have 10, let's say 10 characters in your evil characters in your KO pile, then Black Heart gets +10 attack, +10 defense. Okay, and of course, with it's like you but eviler. Let's say if you are able to get a wild location. Okay, let's say you get a wild location like, okay, your Chris Tower, then you can actually reanimate, okay, one good character for your opponent's KO pile, and then you get to, okay, play them. Okay, they become evil. So let's say if it's It's a ping pong pong, then it becomes an evil ping pong pong. So this is how actually evil Deadpool works. So I hope you enjoyed this particular video. A little bit stiff now because I'm already tired from a trip a while ago, but again, you see evil Deadpool sticking a gun at me and he's saying that I should give you this episode not tomorrow, not the next day, but today, okay, or tonight, okay? And of course, we'd like to thank all our friends from the Vs2pcg Collective, and we'd like to thank our friends from the Vs2pcg. So Vs2pcg League USA, and Vs2pcg League USA is the official organizer for organizing body that will helps out in our Vs2pcg League Philippines Season 2. Okay, and we also like to thank our corporate sponsors. We'd like to thank Virtual Mall Philippines. So please try to download Virtual Mall Philippines at the Google Play Store, or please try to visit www.vmphilippines.com and try to check it out. Okay, it has more than 100 merchants already. Okay, already serving clients both here and abroad. Okay, so treat your friends, your family, and loved ones for some great food, even hobby toys, or hobby games like, of course, Vs2pcg, and they can be found at the Virtual Mall Philippines. And of course, we'd like to thank our sponsor also, EcoSphere. So EcoSphere is your 4-stage ultra purification water system. It's so compact and that it can fit right into your home. And you can actually inquire, try to visit Newlen, that's NU space LEN, and of course she can be found at the Facebook, and she has her very own Facebook page, Newlen, and of course you can inquire about EcoSphere, in her Facebook page or via Messenger, and of course we'd like to thank our official venue here in Manila. First of all, we'd like to thank Fort Shabby Place, and Fort Shabby Place can be found at 0070 along Naga Road, that is in Pulang Lupa 2 in Las Piñas City, Philippines. And of course, our second venue is at PM Apartments, and PM Apartments is located at number 24 Matalino Street in Diliman, Quezon City, Philippines. And watch out, our third branch is opening this August, and that is at Araneta Square, that is Fort Shabby Place, North Point. So, Araneta Square, of course, is located in Monumento, Caloocan City, Philippines. And we will be having our, third branch there of Card and Box Hobbies, North Point. So, thank you very much for watching. And again, I hope I have satisfied evil Deadpool. And he's been clamoring for this particular episode because we have already featured Deadpool a while back in our Vs2pcg Deck Forger. And until the next episode, and watch out because we have a new season coming up. Of course, this August we're going to have our 24K Gem Duel, and that is the final event for our 2020-2021 Vs2pcg Philippines season. And by next month we will start with Secret Invasion, a new set of annual season for Vs2pcg here in the Philippines. So until next time, folks, this is Evil Deadpool, and this is Evil Deadpool, and this is Evil Deadpool. So I don't really have a name for this deck, but it's just Evil Deadpool. So until then, adios, amigos.